frustrating game, to be honest. You know, it's sort of, whenever we feel like we're starting to feel ourselves a little, we do something real dumb. I don't know, we should have run the Benny Hill music the last 2 minutes, I think, because you know, neither team were particularly composed down the stretch. So it was just it was a frustrating game, but you know what? It's a tough league, and I think everyone's going to get frustrated at times with the way they perform. You know, we had some real defensive breakdowns again, but there's some good moments there as well at the start of the second half. I thought, you know, we really dug in. They got a little bake at there at half time, and they come out with a little fire both ends of the floor, which is great. But it's just got to find a way to tap into that consistently, you know, rather than sort of just sporadically. So it was frustrating, but it's really nice to get a win, especially with a good crowd there at this time of year. You know, I know there's a lot of families and whatnot. There's a lot going on for them, so to have that sort of crowd there, real credit to our off the court team to rustle that up. So it was great, and our fans, of course.
It must have been great to also see Mitch and Tai and John all have sort of big nights together and find you something offensively all together like that.
Yeah, I mean, we know that we knew that when Tai went down and he was going to be out for a while. Just through the years, whenever you bring someone back from injury, there's always that transitional period. I think it's almost easier to bring someone in than it is to bring someone back. And especially because, you know, like Tai was the man pre-season and we ran everything through him, and then he and Creaky didn't spend one day together except for the first 5 minutes of the game one. And then all of a sudden Creaky's taken that mantle, and it's like, okay, well now we've got to try and make this all fit again. So it's been a bit of a jigsaw from that standpoint, but the great thing is that everybody's on board and just everyone wants to win. There's no egos, and that's what makes it a little easier. It's just going to be time for Titus to find his wind and get a little love from the refs and not get 3 fouls in 3 minutes. So
0 tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I love that. 0 fouls. Wow.
Mitch's start to the third quarter, this third quarter in general.
Yeah, it's great.
Some cool stuff, but that looked like he was right in the top shelf.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't starved in the first half, but he's certainly moving to that 3 spot from the 4 spot. He didn't have his hands on the ball quite as much, but he sees the moment in the third and transition. It really comes down to us getting stops, and then he can get the ball in transition and make plays, and that's where he's, you know, probably the best in the league. So, you know, he benefited greatly from us lifting the level defensively during that period. But, you know, again, it's going to take a little time. We don't have a lot of training sessions. We've got a few wounded at the moment. We haven't spent a lot of time on the floor as a team. So we've still got a little bit of getting that back together. But, you know, credit to both of them. They're finding their way through it.
Tai, Simon mentioned that sort of adjustment period. What's that been like in these games back, and did tonight feel like a bit of a step forward in that area for you?
Yeah, it's been frustrating. You know, you want to come back and pick it up right where you left off, and I felt like I had a really good preseason. So yeah, but I knew it'd take a while. You know, my expectations were high, and I was a little harder on myself than I should have been probably. But tonight felt good. You know, shot was going in, got some post ups. So yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction tonight.
How have you guys sort of figured out that coexistence, yourself and Robertson and Mitch, and sort of finding out who's going at the moment, who's sort of stepping back a little? How have you guys figured that out?
I think we're smart enough players to read the game. You know, John was going to start, and then I picked it up in the second, got going, and then Creek picked it up in the third, and then, you know, we all realized when somebody's going, we get them the ball, we run them the plays, and I think that there's some unselfishness there. You know, you don't have to touch the ball because it's coming around. The ball's going to come around, and it's going to be your turn. You know, and that's what's the beauty of having such a high-powered offense.
Did it feel like they kept coming at you and you couldn't really put them away in that second or throughout the game? Did it almost feel like a loss like when you look back on it?
No, it was like a goddamn win. I mean, I'm huddled in a corner in the fetal position if we had a loss right now. They're a plucky team. You know, I love their Australian kids, and when they get them out there and see the energy with Greeter and Glover and Emmett Nah come in, kicked our butt for a little while there, and it's like, I feel like there's almost Illawarra have been that team, along with New Zealand, I guess, as well, where there's just a different lineup every week, and they haven't really had an opportunity to get a consistent role going. And I feel like from the outside looking in, people look at that and say, well, they're not a very good team. No, they've got really good players. They just haven't had time and had a run. So they're starting to get that little bit of a run together now. I know Billy got sent home, and so that took something out, but I think that's a plus for that team. Boone comes back in, and he's a star of the league and a winner. So when Kiwi comes back in, that'll be another one for them. They're a tough team. They're plucky and they play hard. Like us, every team in the league, they've got their weaknesses, but they're certainly going to go down fighting, and that's kind of the history of Illawarra basketball, really, isn't it?
What was the message at halftime? You mentioned you're going to do the debate. Can you give us some insight into
I wasn't pleased with much of anything, to be honest. Our last 90, we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot with 90 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it's just been a habit of ours, and we turn the ball over, we make some real goofy defensive plays, and it was just a frustrating period for me. We let them get off at the 3-point line. I think they were 7 and 9, mostly in that second quarter. Stuff that we talk about ad nauseum, that we just have these little dips in concentration, and I kind of blew my top, but we're a tight group. It's not like we can't go out there. The thing that we are is a very honest group of guys, and they're not happy with me, then come up and say so, and if I'm not happy with them, I'll go and say so. And we walk out hand in hand, and it's just the relationship we have, and they need to hear it. What we were serving up in that second quarter wasn't good enough.
just with the maintenance there, the ice on the calf there?
Hey man, I'm getting old, okay? My kid's stressing me out. I got one on the way. I just gotta maintain this this perfect body I've been given, That's all.
Simon, you've spoken a few times this year about the defensive end of the court. That's kind of the area that let you down at times. Where do you assess where this team's at defensively right now with 10, 11 games to go?
We're the second worst defensive team in the league right now. That's what the numbers tell us. We work on it every day. We're striving to get better. It's a slower process than I would like. I'm impatient with it because I want to be a team that's contending. I want to be a team that's knocking over the big dogs. And we've got one win in Melbourne, and we've lost to Sydney twice. We've lost to Perth twice, and that's because of defence. Those are the teams that defend the most. Well, those two teams defend the most consistently. There probably Cairns after that. Everybody else, it's just it's a tough league to defend in. One, I'm never sure how it's going to be adjudicated from day to day, moment to moment, quarter to quarter, minute to minute. We just don't know. So that adds a little bit of a hurdle to it. But at the same time, we're probably not running as deep or as healthy as we'd like just at this point in time. And guys get fouls, we start to get a little bit of standoffish. We haven't played with fouls very well. We've survived, but we haven't played aggressively with fouls and been able to sustain a level of competency at the defensive end that satisfies me as a coach, or the players as well. This ain't. This is a collective thing. We were all in this together. I'm coaching defence poorly, they're executing poorly, and we just go find a way of getting it better. And we always said, and I know we've said it before in these press conferences, this was our main concern coming into the season as a expansion team. And it's not an excuse. This just was the concern that always was with me. That end of the floor is going to take time, and it's taken longer than I'd like. The offense has been great, but let's talk about offense. Question about that. Shit.
Is Gibbo a chance to play on New Year's Eve?
He's a good chance. Yeah. Gibbo shot around with the group this morning, looked superlative. I was all over the physios about them reversing their decision, but they made the right choice and said, no, we'll hold him off. But my expectation is that he'll be playing in the next game, which will be very welcome. That's our probably our best communicator at the defensive end of the floor, our spiritual leader at that end. Whilst he probably doesn't want to hold that mantle at the moment, the more minutes we can get him in out there, it's he makes everyone around him better. So he'll be with us in New Year's Eve.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.